we're having second thoughts on the color choice in the study. Then we dive into our flea market finds and where they end up. Next, we're heading outdoors for some garden maintenance, and we'll make a visit to our charming Swiss hut, a special spot in the garden that needs a little bit of love. We're also off to Stockholm for some interior shopping. 4 years ago, we took a leap of faith and bought a Swedish manor house that once served as a hotel. Now, we're transforming it into our forever home. Join us as we bring this historic estate back to life, with all the craziness that comes with it. Welcome to Swedish Manor Life.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday evening. I just got home from work. I have not changed. I'm in my work clothes. So is Christina, I guess. I would say that this is a typical weekday for us. We've said it before, we are weekend warriors, but we are also weekday, night, evening warriors. A typical day in the life of a renovation couple, I guess.
If you have been following us along, you know that in our last episode we tried out 2 different yellow colors for this desk area in the study. We then decided to not go with a Winnie the Pooh yellow that we called it, and we go with a lighter version of that. But since then, we changed our minds, or I changed my mind. So after letting the paint dry and living with it for a bit, I realized that it's that kind of bold color we want to go for in here. But as always with design choices, there's always that doubt lingering in the back of my mind. Did I make the right choice? We just really love buying furniture and decor and other treasures at flea markets and auction houses. It's just the best way to find really nice pieces at a low cost, each with its own story and character. Many of the things that we buy, they end up in a storage room for a little while until we know exactly where to put them.
This bench is one of our latest flea market finds. It's originally a church bench built to stand indoors, but the wood is of such high quality that we thought, why not use it outside? Of course, that means we need to treat it properly to protect it from the elements. Sanding is all about finding the right balance. You want to remove just enough to prep the surface, but not as much that you lose the character that drew you to the piece in the first place. Applying linseed oil is a straightforward process. You just brush it on, let it soak in, and then wipe off any excess. The oil will enhance the color and grain of the wood while creating a protective barrier against water. And there you have it. This bench, which once had a life inside a church, now has a second life as an outdoor seating area. This is our treasure trove, where all our finds wait for their final position. We love discovering unique pieces that tell a story. Take these paintings that we placed throughout the house. Each one adds depth and character, turning every room into a gallery. And finally, our favorite, a cluster of sketched paintings in the staircase, creating a personal gallery that we absolutely love. We're heading outside for some much-needed garden maintenance. Today, we're starting with one of the most satisfying tasks, cutting the edge between our gravel path and lawn. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference in keeping the garden looking sharp and well-maintained.
So anyone living on the countryside with a lot of grounds to take care of will tell you that the maintenance side of just keeping the thing running is a large part, if not to say the largest part of life on the countryside. And so I'm out cruising around checking what needs to be done. There's always something needed to be done with the robots that we have running around this place, helping us with mowing the lawns and keeping the grounds cut. And so this morning, I saw that one of the robots was standing still, and I went out to check it. I think Alfred has something to do with it, because he has wrapped one of the shrubs in thread, something. So the poor robot has eaten up all of this, and I need to disassemble it and try to pull that out. All right, so let's see what's hiding behind this. Well, Bob, there's your problem. So I guess some of the maintenance that you run into is expected. And some of the other maintenance that you run into is also expected because it's caused by a 4-year-old Alfred. Gotta love it. Well, here's another thing that needs to be taken care of. I think we'll do this next week. We had a branch break off from this tree this winter, and obviously the tree itself is not feeling well, so we need to take this down. And the risk of this whole thing is that you can't just cut it in one piece, because that risks falling onto that, which is a wonderful bell that rings every Saturday. So we don't want to risk that, or it falling on this beautiful commemorative stone. So we'll take it down in pieces, and we'll do that by getting a skylift, I guess, and then chopping it up piece by piece. I am now in the park, quite deep into the park, and the Manor house is somewhere over there in the distance. I'm actually up on a hill overlooking the lake, which is right there. It's a beautiful place. And perched on top of this hill is what could best be described as a Swiss hut. It's like a phenomenon that came to Sweden from Switzerland sometime in the 1800s, beginning 1900s, probably 1800s. There's someone out there who knows that better than I do. In any case, you put these fantastic buildings up in a park, usually surrounding a manor house or whatnot. And this was essentially a place to where you could bring your guests for a coffee, a snack, some liquor, alcohol. And these places were actually built in such a way that you had to make the walk through the park from the house to get to the place. The buildings themselves were often facing away from the manor house, overlooking something else, in this case the lake, to give you a sort of sense and perspective that you were far and away from anything else. And unfortunately, this place has been falling apart for decades. And it was falling apart when we purchased this place. And it actually got hit by a tree many years ago. And so you can see where the tree hit the roof structure and broke that in two. And it's obviously letting nature inside. And the floors are rotted. But you can see still some of the original details are actually still there. And you can get a sense of the color schemes. Quite bright, as it was during that period of time. So although I'm doing park maintenance, coming up here and checking on the Swiss hut and the sort of support beams that we've put in place to just keep it from falling apart further is critical, because we do not want this to fall apart more than it already has. And at some point, God knows how that's going to be financed and actually executed on. At some point, we need to save this place. And just imagine all of the possibilities that you could do with this place. You could turn it into a summer cafe. You can have park tours with this as a destination, tell about the stories, and then obviously you could bring coffee, cake, maybe some booze, as they used to do back in the old days, up to this place and just have a wonderful time overlooking the lake. Who wouldn't like that? Come on, let's go, let's do it. Okay, enough of that. I have some more park maintenance to do, and then we probably have to edit together episode 5 to which this is going to be part. I don't have time for this. Bye.
I'm off to Stockholm today on the hunt for furniture for a client's project. A quick stop at one of my favorite interior design stores is on the agenda, where I'm hoping to find both inspiration and some specific pieces to bring the vision to life. We are at the hardware store. You're laughing because we are dressed nicely. We're going to a party, a moving in party, and it's my brother's birthday. And so we decided to go to the hardware store to buy some gifts. As you do. The guy needs some tools, okay? He has none. He wish he had tools, and so we're gonna get him some. It's a perfect gift. It's kind of funny because my brother Gustav, he is 10 years younger than I am, and he's just starting off with their renovation life. They just purchased a new apartment, and you need tools to do the renovation. So it's kind of cute. They're like us, but a long time ago. He's probably gonna need a screwdriver with some bits. That one is really good, actually.
Yep. He's probably gonna need a level. And he's probably going to need a tape measure. So let's get one. Okay, so here's my chance. Christina just went to the ladies' room. She's pregnant, you know, so that happens quite frequently. And I'm alone in the aisle full of tools. I wonder if I could sneak some tools into the shopping cart. I love tools.
I think this is the reason for why you don't go to the hardware store on your way to the party to buy a gift. Because this is the gift.
I mean, the gift wrapping on this one is on point. Have you ever seen anything as gorgeous as this?
He likes yellow. So we're gonna work with what we have.
Yep.
I mean, could become nice.
If you're friends with us, this is how we treat you. Like a king.
I'm happy it's your brother. Because he's the only one who's gonna invite us a second time after this.
He loves me. I love him. I love you, Gustav.
Looks good. Are you as happy as I am?
I am. Looks really good.
It's not too yellow, which it's just a perfect yellow. And
just for the record, perfect yellow is what we called Winnie the Pooh yellow in a very negative sense. I'm not naming names. In episode 2 or 3 or whatever it was. It was immediately thrown out. But now it's back on track. And it's the perfect yellow.
well, I can admit
Lo
that I
and
was
behold.
wrong at that point, but I realized that, I mean, you can't
She admitted
judge.
to being wrong. Please continue.
Thanks.
you cannot judge a color until has dried properly.
So the color itself really has a lot of different properties depending on the light that hits it. If you look at it on like in the window, you have the shading where it looks a lot darker. You have the points where the light hits it, it looks a lot brighter. And then you have the desk space, which looks like an entirely different color, but it's actually the same. And so the mix of these, we really like.
I like that, I mean, this is a north-facing window. So a bit of this, you know, happy yellow is just what we need. And did you know, yellow, it boosts happiness, optimism, and it makes you, it creates a clear mind. So it's a perfect color for a desk. Working with colors isolated and in a specific room is one thing, but then combining them with adjacent room, that's the real challenge. And we really like this combination. Now with the yellow and this brownish red that we have in the library, it works really, really good. And do you know what? Do you remember when Anna and Philip was here? We went to the flea market, and this is one of the paintings that we bought. And can you see the color scheme in this one? Isn't it a bit funny? Because we have the yellow and we have the red. It looks so good together. And now, again, the blue. We have to have something blue in here.
And so now that we've settled finally on the color for this part of what's to become the study, we can finally go ahead and fixing that. Doesn't look that nice. We're going to cover that with a wall. We are going to complete this room with the molding, and we're actually going to paint the ceiling and the moldings in this yellow color. So that'll be a color drop for you in this tiny space. And we do have a bathroom somewhere here. We're going to paint that door, and we need to fix the bathroom. The bathroom's working, but we're going to vamp it up a bit. And then this part of the study will be done. And we're going to move on to that part of it in terms of fixing the walls and doing the ceilings and whatnot. So stay tuned. If you guys are enjoying our content, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for what's next.